Alright, welcome back to the channel, folks. We are checking out the one and only Microverb 3. You were just listening to the Hall verb, the large hall as it were. And this is a bargain machine from, I think, the late 80s, early 90s, probably the early 90s. I don't remember. I'll research it and I'll throw it on the screen and make myself look stupid, as per usual. So I've got two cameras set up this time because, reasons. And I'll twiddle some knobs and we'll listen to the darn thing. So let's get right to it. Basically on the faceplate you've got input, mix, output. And I've got the mix maxed all the way up because I'm running it in parallel in my DAW using my Apollo X8P. It's got like a mixer built into it, so it can just do stuff like that. Let's see, output, blah, the usual stuff. It's got a low and high EQ, and it's got your various presets, and then, the different algorithms, I should say. And then the presets within those algorithms are all part of this rotary knob as well. So 1 through 16, those are all rotary clicks, and they each kind of do something a little bit different. Sometimes the EQ sounds a little different, but mostly it's just like adding decay, essentially. So yeah, like in the large hall, for example, if we go to 1, we get this. Fairly modest. And if we just click right over to 16, and it just goes on forever and ever. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? We have small rooms. We'll put that on 1. And that should be such a short decay that it might not even be noticeable. Words is hard. Yeah, so that's such a tiny space you can hardly hear it. So let's, maybe we'll just do it in chunks, kind of like we'll just skip a whole bunch of them and go to like, what's this? 5 or 6 or something? So now you're starting to be able to hear it a little bit. So I've got an old Japanese. What is this? It's a Boss DS2. So that's a cool sound to put a room on, I think. Cool. So let's make it, let's go like over here, see what we got. So it's still a small room. So let's go to medium room, and we'll kind of keep it on the long end over here, so we can actually hear what it's doing. So that's kind of got a little bit of a metallic ping to it. So let's use the high EQ knob to back some of that off. Maybe add some lows, see what that sounds like. Again, with the distortion on. Interesting. Very cool. Let's move on to large room. Now we're starting to get into something that has enough kind of time to be more of an ambient effect. So we'll start at 1 for large room and put the EQ back to a nice normal noonish position here. So despite being budget machines, these things actually do sound pretty good. For just a simple little 16-bit digital thing, if you just need like a kind of, I don't know, a lot of people seem to have like an itch for that sort of retro reverb sound. And a lot of the new machines, like I've got a Helix and I've got some plugins and some nice stuff, but they don't really capture the real essence of some of this vintage gear and some of the interesting things that these algorithms do. Like this is a really nice sounding room for something I got at a thrift store for like, I don't know, $30 or $40 or whatever. That's pretty cool. Let's hear what it sounds like with the distortion on. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. We've got large holes. And this was the one we were on for the intro. All right, that's enough of that. Let's move on to... Oh, I'm sorry, that was medium halls. Foolish mortal. Now it's large halls. I was like, why aren't I exhilarated by this time around? That's because it was medium. And medium is for fools. Large halls is where it's at. Welcome to the 80s. Deal with it. And I think this is where this unit actually shines. For something that's just, you can still pick up for pretty inexpensive, the large haul, I would say, competes with much more expensive units from a few years previous. And part of it is like, you know, even just a few years in A to D technology made a really big difference in like how smooth reverbs were. But the algorithm still had that old school vibe because it's still old gear at the end of the day. It's really cool. Cool, that's enough of that. Chambers. Chambers are cool. Let's find a big chamber. This one's got a neat character too. I really like this one. Let's move on to gates. We all know what gates do. They make drums sound dated, and they make guitars sound kind of weird. I actually kind of, am I on gates or am I on plates? I'm on plates. I'm batting pretty low here tonight, folks. But plates rhymes with gates, and I think that's forgivable. Yeah, so I always like digital plates from this era. I think they just have like a unique, fun thing to them that works really nice on guitar. And I always find myself wanting to do those kind of things. Cool, let's move on. Now we're on gates. And again, to reiterate, gates. Make your drums sound dated and cool. You can also, if you make the time shorter, which we'll do using this knob, you can almost get kind of a slap effect, like a country guitar slap effect. Yep. Cool. Next thing is reverse. I almost never have any use for reverse. Maybe I'm just not creative enough. Whoop. Okay. Let's see if we can do something with like a heavy sound. All right, next is short delays. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna get something, yeah, just a doubler that's virtually inaudible because of how short the time is. Maybe like 20 to 30 milliseconds, 15 to 30, somewhere in there. Which is actually a really useful tool for thickening up solos and stuff. It's like a subtle kind of effect. Anyway, so let's hear it turned all the way up. So that just barely gets us into slap territory, which is nice. Okay, cool. Moving on to, this looks like medium delays. So our shortest setting, right back and slap. But again, slap is useful for a lot of different things. It can also thicken up a lead sound the same way that like a really short doubler does, but just with a more obvious kind of effect. All right, so let's move on to medium delays. You only get one repeat. To be honest, it's not a very good sounding delay, and it's not very useful either. Okay, now we're in, what is this? We are in region medium delays. So I basically just shot through those first 3 delay settings because they're virtually useless. And we went right on to region medium delays, which means we're going to actually get some of that, which is a preset amount, by the way. Okay, cool. And then what is this now? This is region long delays. Sorry, I got to put my face right next to the knob to make sure that the little tick is lining up with the line. Because I've been fooled before and I won't be fooled again. What do we got? So that's 1, so I'm guessing 16 is going to be nice. Yeah, that's silly. Okay, multi-taps. This one's kind of cool. You have like a left, right, center thing happening. That's cool. I like that. What does it sound like on 16? It's kind of trippy. Check out some of the other ones. Alright, yeah, now it's sort of getting into that crushed bit sound, like sounds like Iron Tank on Nintendo when you shoot the cannon. Just garbage. Alright, this final one is called Effects, and I think it's more of like a demo mode. A lot of these ones, especially the ones, I think Zoom made some that were like this, where they had a demo mode, where it would sort of just like pick an idealized setting, so you could just sort of like twirl through and find stuff real quick. Not that there's really anything to dig through, but I guess if you're literally the laziest person in the world, or you can't read or something crazy, then you just set it on effects and off it sends you down the rabbit hole. Let's see what we got. So 1 is obviously some kind of hall sound. That's cool. 2's an even bigger hall. Nice. 4 sounds like a room or a chamber or something. Okay, moving on. An even bigger haul. Okay. Nothing. Not even really audible. Sure, it's something. It's probably a doubler. Some uselessly short delay. Whoa! There we go. Now we're back to that Nintendo bit crushing. Fun! My sound is degradation, as Nels Cline so bravely said. Dumb. So there's a lot of farting going on, and there's really nothing you can do to change any of that, because these are all presets. So I guess somebody at the Alesis factory at some point was typing up on their massive kitchen-sized computer, and was like, this is what the people will want. That's okay. Yeah, so... So I don't find the delays particularly inspiring. I think this is a great machine to get if you just want a nice, big, dumb 80s hall verb, and you don't want to spend a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go back to that, and that's what we will conclude on, is the largest hall possible. Let's see. Well, I guess we're just going to sit here together and wait for this to trail off. All right, I've been Clifton Wright. You've been awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. This has been the Alesis Microverb 3. Not the best, not the worst. Certainly a really interesting budget device from a very cool, creative, bold era of guitar and sound and home studios just sort of becoming a thing. So yeah, this is kind of a cool way to get a retro hall verb for pretty inexpensive. Stereo in and out. You know, very simple, very lightweight and shallow. So not bad, pretty cool. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. And please, you know, karate kick the like and subscribe button. If you want to see more of this old vintage junk and hear someone just mess around with it and mangle some licks on a cheap guitar. So see y'all later.